serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talk in Town. Again, friends, shall we try that again? Let's hope now that I am on the screen. I have never had that happen to me before, but welcome to your full-time fans react show with Ipswich Buses. I'm going to drop the Ko-Fi link. If you do want to support us through Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/TT crew, maybe you need to now, you know what I mean? Like the lights, the electricity, all of that shabazz. Maybe I didn't pay the meter. I do not know what it is, but if you do enjoy our shows and you do get value from what we do, I can see them on the screen. Fabulous. Then please do support us through Ko-Fi or through YouTube Super Chats. Some would say I was about as cluelessly in the dark as Paul Cook this afternoon. I don't know. That's down for you guys and girls to have your say. Live chat, live link incoming. But do support us through Ko-Fi. But as I drop the live link for you all to get involved, I'll bring back Curtis. I'll bring back Ben. Welcome in, guys. Sadly, a 2-0 defeat this afternoon. Frustrating. It hurts more than maybe it should, I was saying in the previous show, because it was there for the taking. How did you see it today, Mr. Milktray Man? What's been going on?
Well, I think Leando's going to be on the floor, put it that way. I think he's going to be on the floor for a long time. Disappointing. No final ball. Bon was he was so anonymous today. It was like we were playing with 10 men. But hey, on the plus side, Piggott got 11 whole minutes to change it round for us. In-game management. So in-game
management for yourself was poor today, and that's the reason why we've lost 2-0.
For me, yes. I think as soon as I wouldn't have taken off, not able to take off, so I wouldn't have taken off Selena. I thought that was a mistake, and I would have put Piggott on 20 minutes before he came on. That poor guy's got to come on and win games for us in 10 minutes. You don't do that in a five-a-side game. Disappointing. I think that, I did think that showed where we are today. I think it's pretty clear we're not going to go up this year, but I do think, we did play very well for large periods of time. But the teams that go up, the teams that actually win leagues, do not play against Sunderland, who have lost 3 games in a row. What did I say right before the game? You can't win a game, play Ipswich. Teams banging in 3 or 4 goals against you every week, play against Ipswich. Managers on the verge of being sacked.
That was the old
Ipswich.
I've been sort of banging that drum all week, Curtis. That's the old Ipswich. This is the new Ipswich. And again, we've turned up and with a perfect almond. And I kind of want to leave the penalty well alone, because that's in garbage.
I agree.
That's in garbage time for me. Like some people will focus on never a penalty. It's a penalty. We're already 1-0 down. Already on the way to a defeat. Looking not like getting back in the game. Yes, it finished 2-0. It's a talking point at some point, but for today, I don't feel that's the talking point. I feel it's the overall, as Ben says, selection, in-game management, just lack of substance, really. What do you make of it?
Well, regarding the penalty, I mean, like I say, there's no point, is it? For me, that was just rubbing salt in the wounds, wasn't it? I mean, everyone knows that it was never a penalty in God's green earth. I mean, the way the players absolutely leathered it towards his hand. Even the Sunderland commentators were surprised that they'd given it a penalty. So there's no point going over that. But in regards to the game, we're absolute piss poor. I think. I mean, I said to you before we came on here, we were just flat. I thought our whole performance throughout the game was flat. I don't think there were really any urgency to properly get at them, even though they were there for the taking. I thought we were quite happy to sit back, let them come at us for a bit. And it just ended up being a game which I think was mostly contested in the middle of the park. And then unfortunately, as I said in the pre-game show, we did what typical Ipswich Town do. We decided to give ourselves a nice little pat on the back for doing so well throughout the game that we decided to give Sunderland a nice Christmas gift. And
yeah, but you did say it'd be a scrappy goal or a piece of quality, and obviously Walton's mistake.
Yeah.
You know, it's poor, it's really poor. But again, as I said to both of you, I think offline and through a WhatsApp message, have we done enough to win the game outside of that mistake? I don't think that we have.
We need a shot on target for that, didn't we?
Look, we've had chances. Let's not make mistakes, particularly in the first half. But second half, I wrote down change the game, Sunderland, McGee. Lee Johnson, for me today, has schooled Paul Cook. And this platform this week has kind of not given Lee Johnson a stick, but, he said they're on the ropes. They're a team, that have had a run more on a form. But today, and maybe the guys and girls want to come on the show and debate me on that, I feel Lee Johnson has absolutely schooled Paul Cook in every single which way. Even the second substitution, Brennan Woolley says, they're taking off player X, but bringing player Y on, who's a totally different player. So I'm thinking, they're changing their system. Every team does it, Kurt, except Ipswich Town.
He's done everything that we expect. People put on subs to change games. I mean, he makes his subs as like to like replacements. If you're the opposition manager, you crave. Like, everyone said with this team that people would fear us. I don't fucking fear us. I'd have no problem playing Ipswich Town because I know for a fact that you're never going to go two up front. You're never going to try and go for us because you've got a manager there who likes to play one up front religiously and will die by the sword of playing one up front religiously. As we said, we have a striker there on the bench who he recently came out and said, I had to apologise to Pigott for not giving him enough minutes. So what's he done in the apology? I'll tell you what I'll do, son. I'll make it up to you by giving you another 10 minutes. Again, I'll make you travel. I'll make you travel up to Sunderland with us, and I'll make up my apology to give you that extra 10 minutes because I think you can change it. I'll give you Billy Clark time, and I think you can be our game changer within 10 minutes. It's piss poor. The substitutions he makes, like Selena, Chaplin, like for like, he's never going to tamper with the system, and that will it will come. He will live and die by that sword. He will not be manager for very long. And I pray to God that he because I'm done with it now. I'm done with this whole gelling process. I'm done with this whole, you've got to give him time. It's the player's mistake. I'm done with it. And people said you can't judge him off last season. No, you can. Because this is a manager now who's consistently proven with, if you want to go by it, 2 different squads, he's not been able to get any consistency out of what was the old squad and what is now his squad. So clearly there is a remaining factor in why we can't get any consistency, and he is that remaining factor. We have now gone from a squad of little to no quality, what some people would have argued, and now we have a squad full of quality, and he clearly can't manage it.
Big opinion. Love it. We'll get some feedback from the fans on that. We've got Rob Purdy. Got to take your chances, especially at places like Stadium of Light. Tuesday night's game is a must win. I completely agree with that, Rob, and I think games beyond it a must win. 7 points now between us and Sunderland. We'll get the league table up very shortly. Simon Harris, a few changes for Tuesday night to freshen it up against the potential division champions. Louis Fenton, frustrating game, shows what happens when you don't take your chances. Ryan, got to go back to the famous Paul Cook quote, my side will run towards adversity. Do we really? Tom James, potentially 10 points off the playoffs if games in hand go against us. Shoddy. Leighton Durrant, Cook out. There you go, another Cook out. We need 2 up front. They're there for the taking today. I cannot stand his stubbornness. Rob Holmes, really worried about Rotherham on Tuesday night. Rob Smith, after all the euphoria of change, we're still a mid-table League One team, so very, very disappointing. Stuart Darnell, did we look like scoring? Not really. Huffed and puffed, but no end product. Lee Anderson, what did you make of today's disappointing defeat?
Oh, he's on the floor.
No, I'm not. I'm on a chair. I'm on a chair at the dining room table. I just think, again, it's the usual, from my view, just everyone just needs to calm down a bit, I think. I really do. I mean, we all just need to chill. Look at my old head here. Just calm down. I mean,
Lee,
Sunderland.
How can we be calm? We're down to 10th, Lee. We're down to 10th.
Yeah, we are.
3 points from 17th.
Yeah, and the reason we're down to 10th is because of our first 8 games of the season. Okay, we're still trying to recover from that. Okay, we're not going to recover from that overnight, are we? Okay, so taking the game in isolation, Sunderland were one of the poorest teams I've seen all season.
And they've beaten us 2-0.
Absolutely. They had no, I don't know what game plan they had. They had no cohesion. And that's the frustrating thing in terms of the game that we lost. But really, we were in control of that game. And the problem we have, which is my view, forget the in-game management and that, because I thought the first 2 substitutions were again at the right time. Maybe Piggott could come on earlier. But he always wants to seem to save that substitution back, doesn't he, for the last sort of 10 minutes. He doesn't want to go too early with the substitutions. But we just have to realise that that's not always going to happen the way it happens. And my biggest fault today was, well, what we've noticed today is set pieces either way. We don't defend them great. Okay, I always feel that we're going to, maybe that's just a fan in me, but I always feel that we're always going to be up against it from set pieces. They never looked like scoring against us, apart from a set piece, but we never looked like scoring one. And I think that's the difference. Sometimes when the games are tight, we can't walk the ball in every week. We have to have those games where you have that, that corner against the run of play. And if we turn the game around, we'd all be sitting there now going, "Cool, bloody hell, we got away with one there," because they were dreadful. They were so poor that they were there for the taking. But we missed those chances first half, and when you're on top of that game, you have to take those chances, and that maybe would have been a different game. That's we have to see that. But take I know your point, Curtis, about Cook, and I've always said about, early in the season, you've got to judge him on the whole time here, but we're trying to recover from those 8 games. We are never going to make the top 2. I've been saying that for, 2 months probably, but I really think that the playoffs, we will make the playoffs.
Okay, all right. Let's just pause on that one, Lee, because you're saying we're going to make the playoffs, which we may well still do, but looking at that league table, what's giving you the confidence to say to the fan base tonight, chill, calm down, we're making the playoffs? We're 10th position, played 18. Sunderland are 6th, played 16. So really, and MK Dons have played 17. So let's look at Wickham as the same team that's played the same amount of games as us. They're on 34 points, 10 points ahead of us. What's giving you the confidence when you look at that league table and you think to yourself, we've only beaten one side above us in the league. We've got 1 point out of a possible 6 this week against 2 contenders. This team's nothing but pretenders. Surely, what's giving you the confidence to say, chill?
Well, I just think that when you look at it's this first 8 games, we're playing catch up all the time. And when people, not me, because I didn't say it at the start, and other people have said that, it's early season, we can make it up. The race starts on the first game of the season. And those 8 games, we're playing real catch-up, and there is progress. We're a lot tighter at the back, I think.
Well,
in my view, we are tight. I mean, we don't want to talk about the penalty because it shouldn't. I'm glad it didn't make a difference, because if you're getting a penalty for that, then there's something wrong with the game that we play. We've conceded when we've been on top, but I just think we're more of a solid unit. We look great going forward, and we've got a player who's been in Selena, who we all love, who has gone for 3 million quid, whatever he's gone for, and he's missed 3 sitters. He has missed 3 chances for him. The one where Edwards played him in the first half, he should have buried that, and I think we talked about it at half time. And then the double chance he had where the ball came back to him. I mean, he's hit the goalkeeper both times. He's got more of the goals to score in. Yeah. And they're the different, and they're the fine margins. But those fine margins are great if we would have beat, I think Alex Maffey or Brennan referred to it in the commentary, if we'd have beat Morecambe at home, or whoever was at home, if we'd have got 6 or 8 more points from the games that we should have won at the start of the season, then we'd be saying, oh, well, let's lick our wounds. We've done okay. Or well, we're not done okay, but we've played well in the game, and it's just one of those games. But because we're playing catch-up, we cannot afford to keep losing those games if you're looking at it from that point of view.
But then to go back to Curtis's point, before I allow you to enjoy the rest of the show from your sofa, I hope this evening, Lee.
No, never the sofa.
Back to Curtis's point in regards to the manager, I totally get what you're saying, but because of the poor start, which he was in charge for, we are now playing catch up. So it ultimately does fall on his shoulders, regardless of how we may feel. And yes, we may have tightened up. I will question that though for a while, because I feel the fixture list has been kinder than it has been us getting better. Because again, we've now fallen short against contenders. You know, anyone or potentially anyone with any ambition should beat Shrewsbury and Fleetwood. No disrespect to them two teams. Oxford and Sunderland, however, have posed different questions, and then we've fallen way short of the mark. But back to the manager, Lee, he was in charge for the start. So how is it still chill? Because at some point you have to put together a run, do you not?
Well, you do. And again, the first 8 games are poor. So I repeat myself again. They were poor, and we shouldn't be, and we should have questioned him at that point. But we are moving. The team does look different, I must say, and we're not going to get the results every week. We've had a sucker punch today, but I just think that we've got the players. It will come good, and I think we'll make the top 6 this season because we're playing well in games. It's not like we're going into games. Some of the poor games were like when we were getting, when we were getting battered, and I've said it when we played away at Accrington, when you could see that they were chucking long balls in, and we didn't put an extra, defender on to try and defend that. That's when it's poor. But we've had our chances today, and we've not taken them. Now, is that Cook's fault that Selena has missed 3 chances?
It's not Cook's fault with Selena's missed 3 chances. No.
And the other opportunities that that we've had, I just think sometimes maybe we get the players the wrong way around. Would possibly so.
That's the manager.
I'm a Scott Fraser fan, but do we want to have the players we brought on weren't as pacey maybe as the players that we started with? So do you want your pace at the end when the game's a little bit stretched? Mm-hmm. Possibly. That's one way, but I mean, really, I don't know.
All right, no, Lee, fantastic points as always. Enjoy the rest of your evening if you can after
Cheers,
the guys. Look after yourself. Appreciate you coming on the show. It's very easy to do what Lee's just done. Click the link, come on and have your say. Whether you agree with him, disagree with him, have your own points to say in regards to the performance. It's what it's all about, this platform, allowing all points of view and all ITFC fans. Ben, when we look at that league table, as you know, we come back to what Lee was just saying in regards to subs. Do you think the substitutions were good enough today, or do you think actually it was more questions A and B just asked by different players? It's something I've often said about Paul Cook.
It's 2 like-for-like substitutions. I would say the timing was right, but perhaps the players were wrong, and then one late one. And the thing that's killing us at the moment, and the thing that it will cost Cook his job in the end. I mean, no manager leaves, successful and retires into the sunset. What will cost Cook, whenever that will be, whether it's a month, 6 months, or 5 years, it will be his stubbornness. And we've seen that before with like McCarthy and Lambert. Teams play against us, and they know the formation, they know the players, they know who's up top, they know who our wing backs are, they know who our keeper is, they know who's going to be sitting in front of the defence. Bearing in mind, people are getting banned from various places by leaking formations out and out before the game. The next 23 teams. So the teams we play in May can start planning how to play us right now, because between now and then we're going to do exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. Same formation, same players, one up front. So people playing this with, it's a 6-pointer to stable for relegation. Start planning now, because this is the team you're going to play against in 6 months, because nothing will change. And every single team we play know that. Sunderland, as everyone has quite correctly said, were absolutely diabolically poor today. And they beat us.
I did, yeah.
That says more about us than it does about them, as far as I'm concerned.
We've got some wonderful comments.
But at least they know what we were going to do today. So, okay, guys, if you're going to play poorly, this is what you're going to be playing poorly against. Plan for it. And that's tragic.
Yeah, and just watch the game tape if you've already played us once, because we don't change the second time. So you get a second bite of the cherry. As Chris Boyd, if Cook starts saying we need to get to January and freshen the squad, that's an admission that he can't get performances when he's given everything. Fishing with Nick completely agrees with Lee. We played well for long periods of this game and had more and better chances than Sunderland. Alex Wilson, anyone saying we are going to drop to leave to have a day off? Lee Bayliss, why though can we play like we did at Pompey and Wickham? We look like scoring with every touch. They're playing teams worse than us and struggling to score. Kiwi Tractor Boy, nicely timed running when it matters is all that counts. I'm encouraged by that performance. Terry, how can it be a sucker punch when it happens again and again? Due to a lack of in-game management. Mike D, the subs coming on killed us. Edwards was causing problems and stretching them. I completely agree. I wrote down Edwards growing into the game. And they took him off.
Yeah, I agree. He had a better second half than he did the first half. And they yanked him.
Yes. He finally managed to beat the fullback.
He was.
Positive. Gave it some more. Yeah.
Alex Maffey said it. Alex Maffey said it about 55 minutes. He said, for goodness sakes, just get the ball to bloody Edwards and play it. And just
it's almost like Paul Cook.
And he was right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like Paul Cook turned around and said, right, he's doing too good to get him off. Get him off, Franny.
Yeah, that almost looks like two up top. We can't have that. Get him off. Yeah.
I think it's Eleanor. Go on.
The thing is, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, like, well, you can't blame Cook for like Selena missing a chance. You can't blame him for just because there are other factors in a defeat doesn't mean that the manager is then blameless. It doesn't mean just because Selena's missed a sitter that Cook's in-game management is absolutely fantastic. It's still piss poor. So the manager is there to change the games with said subs. If he feels the game's not going his way, make the correct subs. And for what he does, it's like Ben saying there. If you're playing us in months ahead time, you can plan now because the subs we make don't even change games. We don't change games. You want to bring a striker off? We'll bring a striker on. You want to bring a winger off? We'll put a winger on. You want to bring a midfielder off? I'll tell you what. I'll bring a midfielder on. We don't ever risk it. It's embarrassing. And I saw Alex's comment then about how we always get a bit too high and then a bit too low. That's football. That's football. That unfortunately that's what happens. But we act as
low.
We act as though
that's low.
Decent acting as though we change managers every few weeks. We've had Cook since last season. He's had two squads to deal with. One that apparently said needed time to gel this season, which I'd imagine that in the games we've had now and the time they've spent on the training pitch, they've had enough time to gel. We act as though we change managers like every year. We hadn't. We gave Lambert enough time, and then look what happened there. We gave McCarthy enough time. Look what happened there. I would argue we have given Cook enough time now with two squads and the investment brought into the squad. I would argue he's had enough time and enough chances now to build up more consistency than a fucking 2-game winning streak.
Well, Peter Reid will sort it.
For those keeping track at home, Watford beat Man United 4-1 tonight. Not that I'm saying we should be like a Watford, but you know, sometimes it comes good. Yeah, on Selena, those two chances, got to score one of them, but that's in the first half. Like we're harking back to a time when it was still light outside. You know, it's now we've done nothing for 45 minutes, and I come back to, and I'll bring Coxie in now for a few more comments. But I'll come back to, and I'd like people to sort of talk to me on this. Lee Johnson schooled Paul Cook in the second half, and tactically run rings around him. Aidan McGeady changed the game. Then he brought the second substitution on, who was a different player to the first, we're led to believe by the commentary. He's changed the questions, and Cooks had no response other than the same questions by different players. We've got Rob Pooley. What the fuck is Peter Reid doing here? Completely a waste of money. He should be questioning Cook's management. Surely, Danny Adam. He took Edwards off as he wasn't getting back to defend. We looked like we may concede. Paul Cook came for a draw. Fishing with Nick. It'll be interesting to hear from someone who was there. How do they see things? The left side with Clements and Edwards. Lee Bayes. The only good thing about today is United losing to Watford. Kiwi, Tractor Boy. I always want Cook to mix it up, but we're still the better team away. And Norwich players missed the chance. Oh, fuck off. It gets worse. Missed the chances not Cook. God. Graham Gunner. It'll be the same old Cookie post-match interview. Hey, guys, they gave me everything today. We missed our chances, but we go again, becoming a post-match joke. Oh, Cooksy's gone. Mike D, but behave. I'm not having David Brent out-coach Cook. Ben, on that point, what do you make of that? He's not having that David Brent out coach Cook. How did you see it second half?
Well, he was out. I mean, I can only offer back to you the point you made. I think the sub he brought on changed the game. The crowd would have, all we had to do is score. That crowd would have turned and we'd have won the game. But he came on, they lifted the crowd, it lifted the players. It was a domino effect. He was very, very good at what he'd done. He came on, he just gave that extra 10% and they won. And that's the power of a good substitution and a well-timed substitution. Enough time to impact the game, something different enough because what was before wasn't working. Yeah, absolutely. But Cook will look at that and say, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's saying he's scored. The idea, if you get scored, you take it away, you learn, you implement it, and you kind of change your own system. He'll look at that and think, oh, yeah, they brought on a sub at half an hour. Doesn't matter. I'm still going to do my thing. I'm not going to bring on a sub with half an hour to go. Why would he?
Well, this is it. And I'm very keen to ensure, Kurt, that we don't get too high, don't get too low. But it's very difficult this afternoon to not get too low because the game was there for the taking. So you're frustrated with that. You're frustrated because the team coming in last week, for example, last week's point was seen as a great point by some because Oxford red hot form. Mm-hmm. This week, different kettle of fish. Sunderland aren't in great form. You could hear the crowd starting to get restless. You could feel that it needed something, be it from the coach or the players. It needed something to spark it in Town's favour, and it didn't happen. And then you look at the league table post-game, and you think, Christ, how is it difficult not to get a little bit low tonight, Kurt? Because you're 10th position, and it's a long gap now between us and 36th, 31 points, 7 points. That is 3 games.
Yeah.
So basically, put yourself on 21 games already because it's 3 games that you're catching. Kurt, talk to me.
Well, you say 3 games there, but I mean it's one of them. It's all ifs and buts. But Sunderland have only played 16. We've played 18, and Sunderland are in 6th position. So we say 3 games. Now it's all ifs, maybes, whatever. That's a minimum of 3 games you're talking. So and now let's say Sunderland, they get another 2 wins. So then that's another couple games on top of that you're now trying to pull that. So realistically, you could be talking 5 games in order to get to 6th position. And that's I know that's all ifs and buts, but you could be. All I'm asking is for a manager to learn from his consistent mistakes that he's made throughout his entire management of this football club. Yes, I agree. Last season we had to be honest, I was never actually that bad on that squad. It was a poor squad, but the old manager that we had, he who shall not be mentioned, did what I think could be done with that squad, because everyone said at the end of the season when we all turfed him out, everyone said, yeah, they're piss poor and get rid, give Cook the chance, and he's overhauled the squad, done what he's needed to do. But let's face it, this new fantastic squad that we got told, this Sam Morsey that we got told would like run through brick walls, dominate.
Played well today for me.
Like this Evans who would be your vice captain. Like we've got like as many many people wanted Piggott. Yeah. And he's on the bench. A lot of the players that we got were ticked for bigger things, if not championship moves. Scott Fraser was tipped for a bigger move to a bigger League One club, e.g. could be ourselves, or lower end championship. We, for some reason, I saw Mike D's comment earlier. We have what I think he said we've won 6, lost 6, and drawn 6. That is a bang average League One side. Now with the quality we've brought in, and no doubt the money we've paid in terms of wages, not so much transfer fees, but the wages we have paid on compared to the rest in this league now for some of these players, is it now the fact that these players who had such good seasons last year, have we now dumbed them down back to where they are? Are they now bang average League One players? Is your likes of Evans, is your likes of Morsey, are they genuinely going to get out of this league with us? Because the way that we're playing right now, can't get out. And I'm seeing people saying we played really well today. Well, no, we didn't. Did anyone actually see anything where we absolutely dominated something? For me, I thought it was 2 bang average sides, as I said at our time, fighting over a scrap. And unfortunately, Sunderland got the good end of it. They got the good end of it. It was two bang average sides, and our league results prove it now. And I know Lee said there we're playing catch up for their first 8 games. Don't care. Those 8 games were under Cook's management. They were under his management, and he's had long enough now to change these fortunes. And as I said, a 2-game winning streak consisting of a cup game and a league game. It doesn't fill me with excitement for much of the rest of the season. To be,
you sounded like Andy Tate there when you said "don't care." It was almost Andy Tate-esque. Great points, Kurt. Keon makes a great point. What's the point of Lee Evans? I wrote down in my notes. For some reason I was making notes this afternoon. Again, MIA, poor, sloppy.
What's today? Yeah,
he was again last week. At what point does Paul Cook look at Lee Evans and consider the options that he's got, from Tom Carroll to Idris to Raheem Harper, talking about before the game? What did you see from Lee Evans this afternoon?
Not a lot. I mean, I sort of felt I defended him a bit before the game, but actually, that he was non-existent. I mean, I put him down literally a 3 out of 10 along with Bon. I mean, they're the 2 worst players on the pitch for me today.
It's
disappointing
for a lone striker, though, isn't it, Ben, when you're feeding off absolute scraps?
Yeah, but he wasn't exactly the trouble. Yeah, I agree, because the defence of that is that Wes Burns wasn't there, and I think Wes Burns makes Bon be Bon. I will say that to the day I die. But you don't go from maybe, the level he was at to absolutely non-existent for quite a few games now. The goals have dried up. The goals have completely dried up. Which is why I think you've got to start with players like Chapwin, who's chipped in with 6 now. Now it's about goals. And the longer, in a scrappy game like we had today, the longer you don't score, the longer they have a chance to. And that's kind of what happened for me. So I don't know. I'll be honest. I feel a bit dejected. My energy's a bit sapped today. I notice I'm not saying a lot. I'm just I just got a feeling like I've seen it all before. It's like, I remember this.
Well, you are somebody who has, obviously not been impressed with the management, then sort of, as a result
at the beginning of the season, no, I wasn't. I was really angry.
Yeah.
Because it was awful. But then we got better. I think, okay, fair enough. Everything that's been promised is now coming. And it just seems to me that you've done that, we've done this, and we're kind of levelling out to where we are. Play 6, lost 6, drawn 6. And that's what we are. And for people that defend Cook or the system or the formation or the players, why are we bang average? What's the reason?
That's a good question.
No one's actually asked it yet. No one's asked it. We can criticise all we want, but why are we 9th? Why are we 3 points off 17th? Why?
Good question. Gordon Graffin, great club, great supporters, ordinary team and pathetic coaching and management. Old, disappointed tractor boy. Kiwi tractor boy. Now, I've asked him, because he was saying we're overreacting. So I asked him, bring some wisdom to stop us from overreacting from what he's seen. This is what they've said. We're coming together. Long time to go. Cook does need to change his thinking. And I agree, he's too stubborn, but I never thought top 2 is probable anyway. We have the squad. Patience is needed. But I'll balance that, Ben, Kurt, chat, community. You're right in what you say. Played 6, won 6, lost, lost 6, whatever you just said in terms of the statistic. This is not a squad built on that type of return, isn't it, Kurt? It's like we're talking about Selena here. Last year cost, I think he cost 3 million last year, but either if he didn't, he's still not going to be here on a cheap basis. You've got Piggott, 20 plus goals for FC Wimbledon, Bon in red hot form, Morsey coming from the Championship down to League One. This is not a squad that's been developed or put together to be mid-table, is it?
This is a team that when we first got linked with Selena, we were actually getting linked with a permanent move for Selena, not a loan move. We were actually getting linked with a permanent move for Burson Selena. This is a man who I think transfer fees knock up just over 5 million in his career. This now, are you telling me that a League One team going for one? I know this is only one player. But you're telling me that a League One team going for a player whose transfer fees in total get just under or just over 5 million is looking for a stable season, hopefully some progression past. I don't know where do we get last season in the end?
Ninth. So we've gone backwards at the moment because we're in 10th.
So are we looking for Are we looking for just a couple places high, or are we looking past the dizzy heights in ninth? For me, I mean, I understand what Kiwi Tractor is saying, but I also don't. I mean, he's saying there that patience is needed, but then he's also saying that he knows that Cook needs
wounded.
to change.
I love Stuart Isaac's comment.
Wounded.
Wounded.
I'm absolutely wounded. Stuart, you've wounded me. Not watching you guys anymore. You're so defeated. You better win every game. No, I don't. If we had taken our chances,
defeatist. They got defeated again.
If we had taken our chances, we'd have won. Goodbye. You're like the guys in the Muppets, miserable, always moaning. I always say, Stuart, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it louder for people that perhaps are new to the channel. Some things you'll like, some things you won't like, but you'll always get 100% honesty and passionate opinions on your football club from fans of that football club.
Stick around. The reason we're disappointed and dejected is because we love our club, and it hurts us where we're not where we think we should be, and it hurts us off the back of years. This is why we love our club, Stuart. Stick around, because when the good times come, we'll be happy. But like when you have an argument with your partner who you love, it really hurts, and you go quiet for a day. Same thing with this.
But it's about balance. We've had Lee Anson on the show saying chill, perfectly fine for him to say that. We've had Kiwi in the chat saying, let's not overreact. We've asked for some wisdom on that. He's given it. We've then gone back with a reply. He's come back saying point taken, but Ashton and Co said it take 2 seasons. Again, he's right. It's about that back and forth conversation, and he's well entitled to that opinion. He's also well entitled to put an opinion in the chat to tell us why today's defeat isn't as bad as it maybe looks at 17-40.
I think if anything, it would be more odd if we all came on here
and said, "Doesn't matter." Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's all good.
I think it would be.
Today was awesome. Okay. Yeah, you can see 2 goals. It's a penalty, but you know what? What a great game! I can't wait till Tuesday. Yeah. That's a bit incongruent. I think. Come on the show, man. Come on the show. Talk to us about it. We change our mind. I want to leave this show and be like, oh, okay, I didn't actually consider that. Fair enough. Come on, talk to us.
That
Championship squad, League One manager, mid-table League One, from the company that's going to be funding my evening tonight. Well, not funding it, fueling my evening tonight with several beers. I've got more in the fridge lined up. Disappointment, misery, regret, sadness. That's the feelings I'll be drinking with tonight. It is what it is, And if you look back at the Wickham show, I'll bring Colin in an example in a minute. He's the GOAT. He'll have the say of what he needs to do. But when you look at the Wickham show and the Portsmouth show, they're the shows that we want to be sat up here doing. Nobody wants to be sat on a Saturday evening, 17:44, having watched it or listened to a 2-0 defeat, sad, frustrated, angry. But that's what we've been served up. It's like going to a nice restaurant, Kurt, expecting a lovely 3-course meal, and you've been served up shitting on a toasted tea cake.
Well, listen, I've just seen Mike D's comment there saying, "Now, if we stick with Cook, we're going up next season." This isn't the investment in the squad wasn't. I'm sorry, but no one can tell me that this investment in the squad was so that they can go, oh, by the way, I'll tell you what, let's just build this season and then we'll go next season. You don't get a player of what was Bertrand Salina's quality on loan for 1 season and then go, but don't worry, Bertrand, you might not be here next season, but next season's the year that we're going to try and go for it. No. You get championship players in this season. You get Morsey in this season as your captain. You get him in this season in order to go straight up. And bear in mind,
well, yeah, but I also think you get them, perhaps not promotion, because that's you got a 1 in 3 chance.
You at least want to be fighting around
in the top 6,
and that's not what we're doing. We are currently fighting it out to be top 10. We're not fighting out to be top 6. We're fighting out to be top 10.
See, I agree with you, Kurt. And what I would say to people is when they say to me, we're going to be in the top 6. I would say, well, I'd like to at least touch the top 6 before I firmly say we're going to be in it.
Yeah, just touch the sides. I totally agree. Let's just have a taste and see what it's like. I agree.
Just get a snapshot of a League One table 1 week that says Ipswich in 6th. And yes, the most important week to have that is the final week. Get that. But to have confidence to take forward that we're going to be there, I at least want to see us looking like we're going to be threatening it.
Nice. Look, that comment. You can't put 19 ingredients together. Yeah, But I think if I'd had about 20 fucking meals by now, I think I'd know what 11 ingredients to put together to make.
That's a great point.
Yeah, maybe. And you do need some patience with it, but it is now November. How long do you give that patience? At the end of the day, if you're saying 19 is too many, then you have to look at Mark Ashton and co and say, well, you've done that recruitment, you've done that demolition job. Was it too much? Is that at your door, not Cook's door? Like, you have to somehow you have to have accountability within an organization, and as fans, you have to hold people accountable. So if it's 19 too many, is that Mark Ashton? If it's performances, is that Paul Cook? You can't just say no one's accountable, because somebody's got to be. And it's 10th position, 7 points outside the top 6 in November. Plenty of football to be played, plenty of football to make up for amends. And I'm very keen to stress, I'm not talking about promotion at this point as we've got the squad for promotion. This is not, we're not running around the league. I'm very keen to stress, from my point of view anyway, as the host, it's about the squad is good enough surely for a top 7 position, or at least be threatening the top 7. Yep. And so far, we've gotten beaten by Plymouth and Sunderland and drew to Oxford. We've not yet beaten a team within that top 7 that gives me the confidence to take forward. I'll get a few comments and I'll bring Colin in. Alex, guys, I feel that we want promotion, but we have to remember the owners have said it's going to be a slow build. Owners remember that we have 13 of toxic ownership to undo. Watch you on the bus. Thank you very much. I hope we are making the journey home a little bit more bearable, I guess. Safety to go 20. If we don't hit top 6 by Christmas, we can put this season to bed. John, momentum in the right direction with a brighter future. Paul Lambert performance today, loads of possession, but powder puff up front. Bring back Drinan. Duncan, why is nobody questioning this from above? Because it has to be. If not, we've been given a sweetness, we stuck in the system. Graham, Stuart Isaac, we're moaning because we care. It's our team that's coming up short, letting down these super fans who have made that journey today. Come on, get real. He's entitled to his opinion. But the nod. You lot talk like we should be in the finished article. Laughing at top. I'm unfair expecting top 6 on paper. Lee Anderson, not sure mathematically we can hit top 6 by Christmas.
That's a good point, actually. I think mathematically, that's actually quite. Yeah. How many games have we got between now and Christmas? 4.
Yeah, it's not as many as you think it is. But yeah, disappointing afternoon. Let's be brutally honest. Right, I'll bring in the GOAT, Colin. Talk to us, man. We've played Plymouth. We played Plymouth, and the post-game story was, we had plenty of chances, should have won, but didn't. We've played Sunderland. We've had plenty of chances, should have won the game, but haven't. At what point are we going to get the luck to sort of fall on the other side?
Sort us out, Colin. We're all a bit miserable today. Call us with the soothing balm of your embrace, please.
Good evening, Ben. Good evening, Curtis. Good evening, Gov.
Good evening.
I really wanted to come on tonight, as Gov knows.
But you wouldn't say what about?
Yeah, and the first thing I want to say is, everybody has got their own opinions, and that's fine. That's the world we live in, and that's brilliant. Now, there's been opinions on here, questioning Paul Cook. When I say questioning Paul Cook, I mean questioning Paul Cook's in-game management, tactics, blah-de-blah, Now, I've been quite lukewarm on that for quite a long while, as you all know. Today, I know it's always difficult. Well, it is for me. It's always difficult because I go to quite a few games, and it's always difficult to comment on games that you aren't actually privy to seeing. For example, when people come on radio, chat shows, and damn well that they haven't been to the game, and they say this, that, and the other. Now, today I've been listening to the radio Suffolk, so I haven't actually watched the game, but I've had... What's that, Gav? Sorry?
Don't worry, carry on.
So anyway, I've been listening to dear old Brenner and Mr. Matthew. But kindly, Matt Stannard has been giving me 1 or 2 nudges, here and there, or a lot of nudges here and there on texts during the game. So that's given me a little bit of know-how, if you like. And as the game edged on, it seemed like we was starting to go sideways and all this, that, and the other. And for want of a better phrase, from what I was told, it was getting nigh on boring in the second half. But getting back to Paul Cook, like I say, I've been lukewarm on him. But I've got to say tonight, you know, we've had this chat about Piggott, amongst others, I may add. You know, it's not just Joe Piggott. He's got to stop. You know, he has got to stop. I'm gonna say this now. He has got to stop this stubbornness.
Stick your colours to the mast.
He really has. Sorry, Ben.
Stick your colours to the mast. Put your colours to the mast.
He's got to stop this stubbornness, and I'll tell you for why. Because, like everybody in the chat has quite rightly said, including myself, I hope, you know, we're a great bunch of fans. We've been doing great things for the club over the last few weeks, and you know, we've got to start. You know, it's all very well and good him coming on press conferences saying, "Oh, blah blah blah," you know, the same old things week in week out. But that, you know, that only goes so far, really. And I think we've now come to a point where maybe not so much myself, but a lot of people are starting to get rather drained with all this. And we've got to start, you know, like I said the other day, and I meant it, we've got to start picking what I class as our best side. Now, the team that started today, now I don't know what happened to Wes Burns, so I can't comment on him.
No, nobody does just yet. I'm expecting some words.
No, exactly, Gov.
Maybe after the game.
Yeah,
but Colin,
but
I'm sorry, cut across you, and I really am, and
I'm
I'm sensing from you, you're sort of holding back here a little bit, and I'm not quite sure we're getting the truth of what you feel in your heart at the moment, because I feel like I could just sense it through the screen that you're like a coiled spring. You're holding it back a little bit.
Gov, you're brilliant at your job. I've actually texted you that. And the reason you're brilliant at your job is because you can read between the lines. And you're absolutely right. You're reading my mind right now. You're reading my mind. I am like a coiled spring. I'm trying not to blow me gasket because it is hurting. Yes, it's hurting you. It's hurting everybody. And and I'll tell you what's hurting me even more tonight than anything. All of that, not just the people that we know, Gov, are up there, but all those people who've gone up there today. And I know what it's cost them, and so do you, Gov. It's cost most of those people 100, 150, depending on how many people are with you. It's probably cost some of those people 150 to 200 quid, possibly more. You know, and those fans are travelling. Let's face it, like Lee said quite rightly earlier on, perhaps maybe my coil is starting to go a bit now, but like Lee said quite rightly earlier on, yes, we did have an horrendous start. We all know that. But the fan base, and they're the people who are the most closest to my heart, and most people's as well, we've stuck by it. We've been down to Cheltenham. We've been up to Lincoln when we was second from bottom in numbers. I know Paul keeps going on about and Mark's keep going on about, great fan base for Trump. We all know that. But what the difference is, Gov, between our fan base and other fan bases, excluding maybe Sunderland and Sheffield Wednesday, is that we travel in numbers or equally when we're not doing so well. And I'm really, really hurting for them tonight.
Yeah.
Because today's game, you know, from what I listened to on the radio, or let's put it this way, I'm sure Matt wouldn't mind me saying this. Matt texted me after about 50 minutes, I think it was, or maybe before half time. No, I think it was about 50 minutes, saying, Colin, we should be out of sight. His words, not mine. I'd listened to the radio. Selena had a couple of chances, blah, 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 you know. And he said, you know, but we've lost to awful tactics. But we've lost to awful tactics. Or we didn't lose to awful tactics last week. We drew to awful tactics last week. We've lost, excuse me, we've lost to awful tactics today. And, you know, you can keep banging that, not you, Gov. Everybody can keep banging that drum as long as they like about the draw with Morecambe, the draw with MK Dons, losing at Cheltenham, losing today in the last, you know, in the last dying embers of the game. But at the end of the day, and Lee was quite right, you know, we're playing this catch-up. We should never, ever, I don't care about the fact that we had 19 new players. We had 19 very, well, yeah, let's say we had 12 very good players and probably 7 good players come into the club. Mm-hmm. So should we theoretically be playing this catch-up? In my opinion, Curtis, no, we shouldn't be playing this catch-up because we had a team, a squad, a unit, if you like, who's more than capable from day one, or at least day, or shall we say week 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I think we all thought we probably would do to kind of rip this league up. We've got players in here coming down from the Championship, you know, and we've got players who, like Lee said quite rightly a little while ago, have been worth £3 to £5 million. Now, these players should not be playing catch up.
No, and, I agree. Comment from Lee Bates.
And I've got to add, Gov, you know, I've come on with a heavy, you know, because I nigh on pleaded with you tonight to come on, didn't I? I've come on with a heavy heart. Do I like coming on with a heavy heart? Absolutely not. But you know, I just hope and pray. I said to Andrew actually at half time when it was 0-0, that would I accept 4 points from these next 2 games? Absolutely. You know, and I actually text Matt, you know, Matt Stannard, when it was about 15 minutes ago, and I said to him, you know, he was saying that, you know, it was a bit boring and this, that, and the other, but I said to him, this is before they scored the first goal, a bit Mick McCarthy, I know. I'll take a point right now. I'll take a point because I could kind of foresee what was coming. Now, like it's been said in the chat, on Tuesday night, I haven't said this much this season, I don't even know if I've said it. But Tuesday night is actually must win now.
Absolutely.
There is no doubt about it, Gov. No doubt about it whatsoever.
I'm quite pleased in a way nobody puts a super chat in when Colin's on, because if I had to try and cut across Colin to say the super chat, I don't think I'd ever find the space, because Colin, you just deliver point after point after point after point, and I'm really disappointed tonight for yourself, because obviously you're hurting and it hurts me to see you hurting. A fan that's seen us at our best and seen us at our worst, but tonight disappointing. Hopefully we'll speak tomorrow when we've, you know, processed it a little bit more, seen the highlights, etc.
Gov, can I just say one last thing, please? And that's very, very important. Can we please, up until whenever it finishes, I think it may be the end of next week, can we please keep supporting each and every one of us who are watching the show tonight or tomorrow or whenever you watch it, playing catch up? Please keep supporting Rich and all of us. Keep supporting you've been so generous. But if you haven't donated, even if it's £1, give £1 to that worthy cause, which is East Anglian Children's Hospice. It's absolutely fantastic. And everybody's done, well, I'm lost for words. I'll tell you what, everybody's done. And again, we've talked about the fans, our fan base. Everybody's done fantastically well. Let's just push that little bit more, and let's push it over the line. Come on.
Absolutely.
You know,
Colin, well said.
Give them lovely children a lovely Christmas.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Colin. We appreciate it. We love you very dearly. Look after yourself. As we round up the show tonight, the link is still available for you to come on. We'll go through some team ratings. Go on, Kurt.
I just want to say some things obviously are bigger than football at the moment. I've just seen something come from the Stadium of Light as Twitter account, and they said they are working with emergency services following a serious medical incident outside the stadium, which has then been followed by quite a few fans saying they've seen a man having to have compressions and CPR. So obviously, not all is well there. So I think best just send our best wishes over to them, whoever it may be. But yeah, obviously, whoever it is, whether it be a Town fan or a Sunderland fan, should have been coming out feeling either happy or as disappointed as us. That shouldn't be happening.
Absolutely, completely. Yeah, I echo those thoughts. We send our best wishes to those people, to that person, and to the emergency responders. Obviously, dealing with that situation. Mike D, very good players. Colin, we're in League One. They need to go out there and fight to prove how good they are. Richard Pryor, why the negativity? Did we play crap? No, we are so much better now than last season. We are going in the right direction. Don't get too low and don't get too high. That game was a draw all day long. I think to answer that, the negativity comes in because we didn't draw. We got beat, and we've fallen again on short on the other side of the luck, I suppose. As we do our team ratings, we've got Adrian Croucher still trying to get out at Sunderland on one of the coaches. We should never have lost that game 2-0 and a very long way home. Yeah, safe journey. Rob Smith, we keep saying how good a squad we have, but these players are in League One for a reason. Maybe are not good enough as they think. Maybe they're not as good as we think they are. League One is not good, but we are mid-table again with our third manager. Great chat. Cheers, guys. Thank you, Kiwi Tractor. Thank you for that. Great chat. And thank you, Colin, for saying about what you did about myself in the hosting, because I am quite hurt by the comments earlier in regards to the negativity or not watching us ever again or whatever the Richard, I think it was Richard or Stuart, said in his post, because it does hurt me, because obviously we put these shows on to try and give the platform to all Town fans to have their say, whether you think one way or the other, whether you're happy or sad, positive or negative, whatever it might be on whatever situation. So it does disappoint me to read that and hear that, and I know it probably does you too as well, who've given up your time to do the show, but it is about.
I understand it. I welcome it though, because the platform, we express our frustrations and disappointment in different ways, and mine is I feel a bit energy sapped today, very kind of low energy and disappointed and a bit sad. Some people get angry. Some people saying you shouldn't be doing this and that, but we all express it in different ways. But I tend to think that the reason we do is all actually the same. It's because we all love our club. I think we've got probably different viewpoints on what little things we would change and things we want to do better.
Yeah.
And we hope that maybe that starts on Tuesday night. I'm still going to go. I'm going to leave nice and early. I'm going to go on with my dad, as I always do. Have a wonderful night out under the lights, and that makes a Tuesday in the lecture theatre go very, very quickly. Put it that way. So this is an immediate thing and disappointment tonight. And we wake up tomorrow a bit fresher, a bit more optimistic, a bit more sort of measured, maybe. But I think people are allowed to be angry, people are allowed to be sad, people are allowed to be upset. But you're also allowed to sort of come back to a bit of, consistency in how you feel. So, we all feel this way because we love Ipswich, and it hurts. It hurts because we love Ipswich. So,
and you couldn't have described it there. The problem is with supporting Ipswich, it's like going through a constant breakup every single week. Unfortunately, when it gets to 5 o'clock or when it comes to about 10 o'clock on Tuesdays, unfortunately, it feels like you're going through a breakup most times, and that wound tends to be fresh. That is why we tend to have a show the day after when everything's calmed back down and we've had our time to collect our thoughts. Right now, everything is raw. Right now, everything.
Yeah, it feels a bit raw.
Yeah, but you see, I think I'll still feel the same way tomorrow because it's fine margins. And I'm just not sure we've got the right manager to deliver us on the right side of the fine margin.
I was just about to say that. I was just thinking in my head. obviously we've got all this thing about having patience with Cook, but bearing in mind we've got these new owners and the investment that has been heavily put into the squad, as well as what's been told to us about what they're going to do to the ground and the stadium and this and other. Is Cook the right man to have this war chest at his disposal? And it's a simple question. Is he the man who can deal with having such riches? As he's previously said in the past, when he's had press conferences, he's never really had so much freedom and so much quality within one of his squads. So is he the right man to deal with such a situation? Because it's completely new to him. Is he the right man to deal with having such a plethora of talent at his feet?
Sorry, I was reading about someone's birthday. Possibly not. Well, that time will tell. And it is about the fine margins, though, isn't it? And because we've got the squad now to compete, and that's showing that in the games against Oxford, Sunderland, Wycombe, Portsmouth. We've got even today, for example, didn't get beat because we were really poor. It was an even game. The fine margin, and I just hark back to what I wrote on my notes. Aidan McGeady, substitutions, Sunderland changed the game. That's a fine margin. So that's a win for Lee Johnson. Whether you like him, whether you think he looks like David Brent, as someone said earlier in the chat, whatever, that's a win courtesy of your manager doing something. I'm in that position where I'm just not sure I have the confidence at this point in time to see our manager do that. But that's time. Time will tell. Some people will say, Martin, no, I have full confidence, and that's fine. That's down to them. That's their opinion. Let's do some team. Go on, Ben, very quickly.
I was just saying, funnily enough, look, beginning of the season, 8 games, 10 games in, I was cook out. And then we done better, I changed my mind. I'm actually, funnily enough, I'm not cook out now at all, actually. There's a bit of acceptance. Is that, okay, if this is our reality and this is what it is, let's just see where it goes. And I'm willing to wait till the end of the year. You know, we pay our money to hopefully experience a bit of magic. But there's all the things in between I love going up. And I hope that Cook does get it right. And something clicks, something settles, some stars align somewhere. And because I actually quite like him. I do. I like the guy, actually. I question a lot of the stuff, but I hope he's still our manager, because if he is, it means he's doing well. So that will be my first kind of wish list if I have one. Whether that will happen at the end of the season, I'm not sure, but I'm not at that point now where I'm saying get rid. I've gone through that process. I'm thinking maybe there is something to be said for let's just see how it goes. It's an acceptance thing, an acceptance. Maybe.
Nobody devotes 5 hours of an afternoon or an evening or whatever it might be to wanting your team to lose. Like Tuesday night, I'm desperate for us to win. I hope we win comfortably, but I'll take a 1-0. Just want to see us win a game of football, build on something. Team ratings, Walton, Curtis, what would you give him out of 10 today?
6.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe even a 5 because of the goal. Very poor. Loss of concentration right at the end. Danasi and Ben.
7.
7, yeah, okay, not too bad. Enciala, Curtis.
6.
6. Yeah, I've written down in my notes, mistake coming, concentration. And then we have the penalty at the end, whether you think it was or not.
Yeah.
Again, it involves, I believe it involved Toto. Edmondson, Ben.
7.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good today. Left back. Yeah, really strong, commanding. We're so lucky to have him. My fear is if results go the way they're going at the moment, we won't have him this time next year because he'll be in the Championship.
We'll see.
You know?
Yeah,
we will.
Yeah.
Curtis, Bailey Clements.
6. I just thought he was nothing special, nothing too bad. He just did his job, went by. I thought to be honest, I thought he was relatively comfortable throughout the game. Yeah, he wasn't composed sometimes. Maybe he got took over a bit, but it's what I expected from a young player. So I'd say 6.
Okay, into midfield, Sam Morsey, Ben.
5.7.
Yeah. Then.
No, 5.7.
What? Okay, why 5.7? What made him 0.3 away from a 6?
I thought his distribution was poor. I thought he didn't protect his backline the way I think he's capable of doing. He just wasn't quite at the races today for me. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't very good either. And that's I think if some of his balls would have connected with the players he was intending to, that's that 0.3%, but it wasn't. So 5.7.
Isn't football amazing? My notes: Morsey, walking the line but intelligently, very intelligent player. That was my note on Sam Morsey today. Lee Evans, Curtis.
5.
5. Yes, very poor. Very, very poor. I'll be surprised. Well, maybe I won't be surprised if he starts on Tuesday. I certainly wouldn't be starting on Tuesday. Aluko, Ben.
I want to say 8 because you give players an 8 when they're in a winning team, but I want to say 8. But he ran out of legs at the end of the game. But I thought he was just fantastic today. He kept the ball, just really, really good. Terrorised him in the first half, and a great player to watch. So I'd say 8.
I thought it was like a firework today. I thought he burst into the game.
Yeah.
And then
His legs went. But when you're carrying 10 players, your legs are going to go. So
true.
Yeah.
Selena, Curtis.
Oh, tough one.
5. Yeah, you know what? 4.5 or 5.
Okay. Left midfield. Crumbs. Doesn't. Edwards.
First half 4, second half 6 when he was on.
And Macaulay Bomb, Curtis.
I want that one as well.
2, Ben.
Not applicable.
Yeah.
Not applicable. All right. There we go. Kiwi, Evans is so hot and cold. Monty Aluko should start every game. Lee's in France. Enjoy your holiday, Lee. Colin, Richard's in Germany. Enjoy your holiday, Richard.
Sehr gut. Wie geht es dir?
Yes. What?
Wie geht es dir? Alles in Deutschland.
Yes, of course. From the Euros, I remember. Yes. I just know Sprechers die Deutsch. What is that? I don't even know what it means.
Do you speak German?
There you go. That's all I learned in school. It's all I learned in school in the German classes. I should have done.
Sehr gut. Ich verstehe. It's good.
I should have worked harder. Anyway, we are back tomorrow at 1:30 for Talking Town. Myself, Kate Riley, and Matt Phillips. This has been a Talking Town FCA finalist presentation. Whichever your opinion, do let us know in the comments. If you're watching this back, do like it if you've got value from it. You can support us on Ko-Fi. But he is the artist, Curtis Yates. He is Milktray Man Ben Adams. Sadly, Town have lost 2-0. I'm off for an away day beer.
Lovely.
And just
what are you going to have tonight, Gov? What beer?
What with the beer? Brazil's best, probably. Reminiscing
Brazil's
about strikers that could find the net.
Yeah.
You know, or I've got a liquid football, but I'm not doing that. Just that would be, just ridiculous getting that out after tonight, wouldn't it?
I tell you, I'm enjoying. Usually after a win, I'm all hyped up, but I feel quite. So it's going to be a night in. Lock the door. I'm getting a Chinese takeaway with my wife. We're going to watch a film together, and that's like a perfect Saturday night. Past the age of about 35, that's a perfect Saturday night in.
I think I've got peanut butter on toast for dinner. I think.
Yeah,
we've gone from bad to worse this evening. The beer might make up for it. Curtis, you had your Chinese midweek, but
amazing.
Are you tempted to pick up the phone?
No. Tonight's I think it's tuna pasta. I think the missus is making it. We're having a nice tuna mayo pasta.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Right. Well, we're done. We're dusted. Have a great evening. And until tomorrow, with love, with care. Sadly,
go easy, guys.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now.